Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Turning Music into Money. I am your host, Double O. That is D-U-B-B-U-L-L-O-H. First, I want to give a shout out to Miss Ruby Johnson for giving me the platform. How you doing, Britt? Thanks for checking in, my brother. Today, what's up, Jeff? Today, we will be talking about independent artists beware of scams. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? How you doing, Dwayne? First off, got a busy day today. I have a radio show I'm hosting right now. I have a funeral to attend after this. Then I have another radio interview to do, and then a video shoot. So it's a lot going on today. And feel free to chime in with any questions, any concerns, anything you want to say. Definitely love and enjoy the feedback. Let's see what we have here on the schedule. Now, if you missed any of my other previous shows, Turning Music into Money, I need you to go to Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Type in Turning Music into Money. And that's where you'll find all my archive shows, the how to start your music business in 10 steps, sit down, be humble, social media, should I pay the DJ, all my previous shows. I have some upcoming shows where I will be talking to another DJ, or we'll be talking to some other people in the industry. And, I won't be going Facebook Live on that. I will be actually doing a recorded video. How you doing, Nate? Thanks for coming on in. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Miss Maureen, guest of 1570 AM. She always represents. She always looks out for me. I'm gonna start doing a segment on her show on 1570 AM. I don't know what the day is going to be, but I will let people know when it will be. She does, Miss Maureen, guest. She does a independent artist exposed on 4720 Jonesboro Road. It's a live show. It's a great place to come out and network. It's a great place to meet new people and showcase your music and perform. So, again, that address is 4720 Jonesboro Road, Union City, 30291. Definitely check her out, Miss Maureen Guest. Shout out to you. Now, I know. How you doing, Figs? What's up? Thanks for coming on in. I know we haven't talked about the Tupac movie. I don't like to get too gossipy about it or my personal feelings, but I just want to call out the obvious. In that movie, I was really able to see that Tupac did not, he didn't get a chance to really get his business straight. And, that's what this show is all about, be able to get your business straight and be an artist as well. So, it's just unfortunate to see that he kind of caught on to the business a little too late to make an adjustment. And as he was trying to make an adjustment, that's when he got cut down. And, I try to give the independent artists the knowledge, so they'll know the business side of things. And that's what a lot of these scams and scammers are about. They keep a lot of things foggy. How you doing, Miss Turner? Thank you for tuning in. They like to keep a lot of things foggy so you don't understand things, but I'm here to clear it up. It's a process. Sometimes you can't avoid all scams, but I just want to kind of let you know what to look out for and all kind of things that's going on out here that you need to be aware of. Okay. Now, I know Miss Ruby, the one who gave me this opportunity to do this show, she wanted me to talk about some of my mistakes that I've made as an artist. Well, I haven't made many because a lot of the times when I first started out doing music, I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do at all. But before we get into that, if you're looking for me, if you're looking to find me on Pandora under two different names, DUBBULLOH or DOUBLEO. Type it in, add my station. We got over 400,000 spins and counting. Got new music coming on there. Tay Real station should be up soon, so we're very happy about that. And just check me out and support, please. But back to what I was saying about the mistakes that I've made. I haven't made a lot to begin with because I didn't know a lot. And a lot of times in the days when I started, it was like information was hard to get. Information was hard to come by. So now that information is out here, you're able to do a lot more. But back then you just had to sit and wait. You know, it was a big issue trying to get to the studio. I mean, now you can just flip on the switch and go to the studio. But back then it was $300, $400, $500 to just get in the studio and get something halfway recorded that sounded, you know, decent. It wasn't even, you know, the best sounding quality. So I didn't make a lot of mistakes to begin with, but some of the mistakes that I did make. Thank you, Miss Ruby, for tuning in. Thank you, Quinn, for tuning in. I appreciate it. Some of the mistakes that I did make, I did not get my songs fully mixed or fully mastered. A lot of the songs that's on Pandora right now did not get fully mixed nor mastered, believe it or not. So that's straight out the studio. That's exactly what it was. What's up, Jameson? What's going on, homie? And I heard Master P did the same thing. He said if the song sounded good enough, he would run with it. He would just put it out because it sounded good enough. Because the mixing part is $200, $250, depending upon who's doing it. Then you got to get it mastered. Back then, mastering was costing a lot more money than it is now. You can get mastering for under $50 now. So basically, there's no reason for your song to be sounding crazy if you spend the money. You know what I'm saying? So that's some of the things. That's one of the things that I didn't do. Another big thing. The reason why I am two different artists is because I wasn't unique enough with the spelling of my name. That is something that I didn't take serious enough. I just put Doublo, and it's kind of hard to brand that when you have a lot of other businesses trying to brand that name as well. It's hard to stand out. When you sound or look just like everybody else. So the double O, the Doublo is really a lot of things. It's grills, it's bonding for jails and all this other stuff. So you got a bunch of people trying to brand that name, and that's where I ran into a lot of issues. So I had to switch the spelling of my name so I can stand alone. That's why my name is Dubulloh. Most of my content is under Doubleo. So that, you know, you have to be unique with what you're doing and definitely stand apart. So that'll alleviate a lot of problems. Let's see. I do a lot of my networking on Craigslist. I mean, a lot of them. A lot of networking. And I ran into a bunch of clowns. You're going to run into clowns everywhere you go. Craigslist, in person, because I'm going to tell you a story about what happened in person. But on Craigslist, you kind of just got to look out for the keywords of what people like to say. You know, they just kind of like to dazzle you real quick, and they don't really have any substance to what they're talking about. They have no substance to what they're talking about, but they just want to get across what they want to get across. So you got to be very, very careful on Craigslist. I still suggest Craigslist for a lot of networking purposes. You just got to be real careful and really tune in to who you're dealing with. Dwayne Terry says, how are you getting your fans to follow both platforms? Well, when he asks about both platforms, I'm pretty sure he's talking about my Pandora stations. The Doubleo station, I already built the fan base over the course of 5 years. So, they know about that because I've been promoting and pushing it for that long. This new one is less than a year old, Dubbulloh. A lot of people think, yo, I already added your station, you know, I should be straight. So it's a little more difficult to get them to add Dubbulloh. It's new music, it's new everything. But what I suggest people do is really combine the artists together. You can do that. You can combine stations. You can add an artist to the station. Just add Dubbulloh. That's all you got to do. But it's a difficult task to get them to do both because I'm having to promote both at one time. So sometimes I choose to promote, you know, the dub, DUB. Sometimes I choose to promote Doublo. So, you know, it's a hassle, but I love it. You know, I enjoy it. That's a hassle that I want to have. Now let's get into one of my stories that I have for you because I get one of two stories. Well, maybe one of three now that I'm thinking about it. First story that I made a mistake on is not getting my business straight before before I started doing the project. Let's take the song "Blow" for instance. The song "Blow" I did last year. It released September of last year. Now I was dealing with some people I met at a show, and they wanted to do a song with me. I want to do a song with them. Let's do it. So we did the song, and we pretty much had a verbal agreement on what it was going to be. A verbal agreement. Everybody agreed. And I said, listen, in order for this thing to kind of work the way I see it working, let's put it out under my name. Let's get the percentages straight, and let's do it like that. So they agreed to it. So I said, okay, cool. But we know it's their song, but it just had to be in my name so we can continue to build the momentum that I had going, that versus trying to start some momentum for them. So long story short, by the time the release got ready to be released, they didn't want to shoot the video. They wanted another percentage. He went and got a manager that was like, I pretty much stole the song, when I had a verbal agreement. I suggest you get paperwork. I suggest the paper ain't got to go back and forth with you. The paper is not going to go back and forth. So I suggest, you can do the verbal for the initial, but you need to go ahead and get your paperwork. Let's see what Miss Nicole Turner is saying. In setting yourself apart in name branding, how have you done the same with your sound? Thank you, Miss Turner. Well, the way that I've done that with my sound is I deal with a Grammy Award winning producer and engineer, and a lot of people don't have that ability to deal with her. And it's really her, to be honest with you. It's really her, because she knows the tricks and nuances of the sound of things. So all I do is kind of just deliver my style, and then she'll give me a sound that is just like, that's it right there. That's it. You know what I mean? So thanks, Shakita, for tuning in. Thanks, Julie, for tuning in. But it's really her. It's really her. I just bring my sauce. She brings her sauce, and we put it together, and it's incredible. So that's how I'm able to do that, Ms. Turner. Thanks for asking that question. Great question, you guys. Great questions. Continue to ask them while I'm talking. No problem. I'll answer them. Now, that was that song "Blow." So that's why I kind of was, trying to figure out how I was going to promote it or do it. But I had to wind up just keep pushing without it. Even though I'm not going to be able to get a video for it and get the support that I need from that artist, I'm still going to have to continue to push on. Thank you so much, Ms. Turner. She said, good stuff. Get the contract. Get on contract. Get it on paper. She said, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Now, what I was saying. Now, we're going to get into this story. Hold on one second before we get into the story. Have you ran into scam producers? I know I have since I've been in the music industry. That's from Julie Gordon. Now, I watched a video yesterday about scam producers. And what I seen was producers having problems with other producers. Now, let's check this out. If you're a producer, Julie, and I'm a producer, and we're in the studio making a song, and you actually want to take me off that song, you can do that. Because what we'll do is we'll make the song together. I'll write my parts. I'll do my parts. And then let's say we're shooting it to a major artist. So you give me all your parts, and then you go, and then I go, But what happened is, if I want you off that song, I can actually get somebody else. I can do a work for hire, meaning I pay somebody to play the parts that you made, or do whatever you did, or reword whatever you said. And now I can take you off of the whole deal. That's what a lot of people have had done to them. So, that's a scam within producers. You follow what I'm saying? So, but I haven't been scammed by a producer to say I paid some money and they haven't gave me the material. No, that hasn't happened to me. But it does happen. But it's a little harder, because if they're a producer, they get easy to be touched. But most producers, when they're trying to get on these big major projects, they'll try to find ways to start cutting that percentage down, because they want all of that percentage, knowing that they didn't do all of the work. So what I heard to combat that was a good way to start. You still want paperwork on all this stuff, but a lot of times these people get scared about paperwork because they know they up to some garbage. So a lot of the stuff to get around the paperwork, they said make a verbal agreement and record it, and then of course do your sheets of your split sheets and all that stuff. How you doing, Miss Laditra? Shout out to you, Miss Laditra. You are incredible. Check her out at LaditraWhite.com. That's LADETRA dot, excuse me, Laditra White, LaditraWhite.com. LADETRAWHITE.com. Check her out. Enjoying everything she's doing. She's incredible. That's my girl. Thank you so much. Let's get into the story of the scam. Now, this is how the story goes. A GOY sister of ours was out and about. She was just happened to run up into this movie casting that they were casting the movie for, I think it was Hustle and Flow Part 2. And she seen the girls trying out. They was at a studio within a condo. And so she called me up to find out if I knew anybody, a girl that wanted to try out. So, of course, I hit another one of our GOY sisters up. So we went out that same day that she called us and went out to the guy. We went out to the guy, and the reason why I go for protection, and I go to see how I can get my songs in movies, TV, or whatever like that, because it's all about placements. You have to get placements for your music. You have to place them. You have to work them. That's what you have to do. You can't just think somebody's going to pick your music to do certain things. You have to actively, aggressively work it. So that's what I went out there for. She did her part. You know, they went and rehearsed, did the audition and everything. Everything went pretty good. They got kind of nervous because I was there. And I asked the guy, are y'all looking for music for the movie? You know, so he said, well, basically we have all the music that we need. I said, okay. So basically I was done talking. You know, I'm here to support my GOY lady. You know what I mean? Shout out to Elaine and Renata. So I'm here to support them. So I'm thinking it is over with. The next day, the guy calls me and he's like, well, what you want to do? Like, what are you looking to do with your music? And I'm looking in disbelief because this is a text message. And before I can even respond, he's like, what, do you want management? Do you want radio play? Do you want promotion? What do you want? Almost making it seem as if I don't know what I need or know what I want. So I told him I'm looking for a movie placement. I'm looking to get placed in a movie. So, you know, we go back and forth about, you know, I don't have a budget. You know, to do radio and this and this and this. Because I said, you know, radio play will be good. Thank you so much, Miss Femi. We go back and forth about not having a budget. And I said, yeah, you do need a budget, and I do have a budget for radio. So I listened to what he had to say about radio. So he wound up wanting to speak to me about radio. So he started talking all this jazz to me as if I didn't understand it about, you know, if you pay X amount of dollars, he was $3,000 or $4,000. He was kind of unsure about the price. If I paid that to him, then I could have a possibility of making hundreds of thousands of dollars because it would be at many different radio stations. So I know that's not really how it works, but I just kind of played along with him just to see where he was going. So anyway, I did that. And by the time I got down and dirty with him about, you know, who owns the song and the percentages and this and this and that kind of threw him for a loop. So what he told me was, now, mind you, he's a manager. He told me that he's got to call his manager to get in contact with me. I'm an artist. I'm not a manager. So he's a manager that has to call another manager to get involved with me, which is absolutely nuts. So because I asked him how much was the actual figure that I have to pay, you know, for this radio, quote unquote, spins or whatever the case is. So he didn't have a number. He had to have the manager get in contact with me. I hate when people in the music business ask about my artist budget. Thank you, Julie. I can't stand it either. So back to the story. So once I realized that he didn't know what he was doing, I went and did my own research of the people that was at the audition that day. So I found this guy that Elaine, our GOY sister, she read with him. And basically he had posted a little video of the people that he dealt with to get his music on the radio or whatever the case is. The name of them is VDSNation.com. Basically, I offered this guy, when I spoke to him, a chance to promote. Thank you, Tahita, for tuning in. A chance to promote his website to independent artists because, you know, he's looking for more artists to help and get their music in there. So basically, he didn't want that. He wanted to kind of remain, you know, anonymous. And his name is Art Washington. And they're a scam. They are a scam. I called him and we had a conversation. Then he asked me, you know, after we had a real deep conversation, he asked me what my name was. And I told him what my name was. He locked my number in there and never answered again. I called him 3 or 4 times after that to try to get him on the radio because I was going to take him on the AM radio and my radio station for him to explain his company that he's trying to help artists at. VDSNation.com. They start out at, the first thing starts out at $999. You can't do nothing with them for less than that. $999. The next package, that's the beginner package. The next package is the standard package. $1,999. The third package is $3,099.99. You know what I'm saying? So, and the professional package is $8,000. So basically, you got to spend $1,000 to get with him. He's supposed to get you 10,000 Spotify streams on the first one, 500 digital placements, and national press release at The Source, Complex, Billboard, and Rolling Stones. Nobody deals with The Source. You can do these things yourself. You can contact these publications yourself. You can do that yourself. You don't need these people to reach out to these publications. And then the last thing says, you know, the last professional package, he's supposed to get you at Sway in the Morning in the Breakfast Club and Jimmy Kimmel and all this other stuff. Come on. So that's full of trash. Let's see. Always find somebody running a scam. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Now, check this out. Some things I want y'all to do to look for, to watch out for, is most of the time, these people can't even be found on the internet. This guy, Art Washington, you can't even find him on the internet. If you're looking, you can't find him. Let's see. And listen, they will, and I repeat, will stop answering the phone at some point. Whether you done paid them the money or whether they feel like you full of crap and they ready to move on to the next person that they ready to scam, they're going to move on. Anybody wanting you to pay before the service is rendered, more than likely is a scam. If they're not listening to you and what your music stands for or what it is, more than likely it's a scam. This is not a get-rich-quick industry. This is a thing where you have to pay your dues. If you do have a single that blows up, it's going to be hard to get that second one going unless you are already in the system. So basically, you got to understand that this is not no thing where you just pay a bunch of money because and get on, because anybody can pay money and get on, but you actually have to have good music and you have to have somebody that believes in your product as well. And then also you gotta ask yourself or ask them, do they have a website? Look and see how current their website is. Look on the bottom and see when his last got copywritten. You know what I'm saying? Just check them out thoroughly before you're so quick to pay your money to somebody to save you in your music career. Because really it's about networking, it's about building, and find somebody else that can verify that person is legit. It's worked for them before. Don't think you're doing something to recreate the wheel. Do your research, network with people, have other people check them out, have somebody else call them, run some game on them. Don't let them run the game on you. You know what I mean? Find out, research them. That's why you build your team. That's another thing we talked about in my first show. But anyway, you build your team and you attack them. Don't let them attack you. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that's supposed to have the ownership. So you keep the ownership and you stay smart doing this thing. Listen, my time is up. My time is up, and I'm so sorry that I can't continue this conversation. But listen, next week, I'll probably more than likely be talking to a DJ, and we're going to be talking about how to break your record, how to break your music. You know what I'm saying? So tune in, share this broadcast right here. VDSNation.com is a scam. It's a bunch of other scams out there that I can't really get into right now, but I'll do another show about the scammers because I take a lot of research. It takes a lot of research, and I really want to call them out. I really want to call them out. If you know of a scam, hit them, tag them in this thing or tag me or whatever you do. Let me know who they are. I'll point them out. I'm a big dude. They ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. I'm here to talk about them. So listen, check it out. Thank you for tuning in to Turning Music into Money. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Once again, this episode was Independent Artists Beware. Thank you for tuning in. Love y'all. All y'all. Peace.